Back at our favorite YMCA today. So a little update, friends, that I'm actually in the midst of talking to another agent. So we have prospects here. We don't have any agent who's guaranteed to work with us, but we have one agent right now, or one individual who's not necessarily an agent, who's looking to help. Another person who's an agent, another person who's an agent, another person who's an agent who has interest. So we're getting somewhere. Speaking of getting somewhere and wondering what I'm doing, is I'm working on hand fighting. So at a higher level of basketball, everyone thinks ball handling when you watch it on TV is, oh, can you do fancy moves? But if you watch good players, go watch your favorite basketball player. Go watch Kyrie, for example, greatest ball handler. They fight with their hands so much more than any person can ever imagine. And so what I'm doing here is I'm dribbling by the wall, using my offhand in this case to fight off fake defenders. And it seems weird, I know, but it's what's going to help me. So, as always, a big blessing to have this empty gym at the YMCA, and allows me to look like an absolute psychopath as I fight off my imaginary defenders, working on some hand fighting into a pull-up jump shot. Now what you'll notice here is when you fight with your opposite hand, you're dribbling with, your offhand, it makes shooting the basketball so much more difficult. The reason why is that when we shoot a basketball, it's about the gather pickup. So when I get both hands on the ball to shoot it, that really matters, right? Like if I'm going to catch a basketball and shoot it, so I'm passing the ball, both hands are on it. If I'm wide open, I can take like a casual prep dribble and get both hands on it and set the ball. When I'm swiping off with that opposite hand, I have to get my hand back to the basketball in rhythm with my feet to shoot it. So it's just an added variable of difficulty. If you don't believe me, go try it yourself. But when you do it, you have to do it all in one motion. You can't cheat and just swipe your hand and then reset yourself and shoot it. It has to be all one motion. So, like I promised, guys, I don't make all my shots. I'm not going to show you every shot I take, but I'm going to show you a little bit of a longer, kind of unedited version of some of these workouts, because the idea is that when you do this stuff, it's not very pretty. It's not the most perfect rep every time. Sometimes when you're doing something new, you think about each rep one at a time. You're like, oh, okay, how did that feel? Did that feel okay? Did I like that? What should I do better? It's very imperfect. You'll see here when I'm doing my hand fighting on just the dribbling actions, I make mistakes, and that's totally important to do. Not just okay to do, it's important to do. You want to make mistakes. You want to push yourself beyond the level of comfort that you're accustomed to. That's how you get better. That's how you adapt. So you might stop, you might reset yourself, and that's very normal, but it's important to actually make the mistake, to know where your limits are and to know how to push those limits. Now, because we're in a little bit of a lull playing-wise, I have been doing some self-conditioning. Well, this is my first day, this video, doing more self-conditioning. I need to do more self-conditioning. My conditioning's not bad, but just getting up and down the court is nice to get my hip flexors moving in longer range of motion. Nothing too intense. You can see I'm pretty sweaty from the workout already. But this little conditioning series is nice. So you run down and back, then you run the arc and back, and then down, then you run the arc and back again. So this leaves you some leaning, some change of direction, some good torso challenging movements. Because in basketball, believe it or not, guys, your torso moves. It's not upright running. You bend a whole bunch the same way a defensive end has to bend to get around the corner. So just running in a straight line is beneficial. Only running in a straight line is lacking. So I did this for a couple of, 5, 6 times. Just trying to get my heart rate up, back down, and repeat, not trying to exhaust myself in terms of muscular fatigue, messing with my, see right there, look at that, my torso, turn my hips, flip my hips. Pretend, imagine. You need to think through things in an imaginary, creative fashion when you do this stuff, because it's going to help you compete better when you actually do the training by yourself. You'll be thinking in your head, oh, there's a screen, and you'll start to emulate some of those actions of getting over a screen or whatnot. So be creative, be a psycho, be weirdo, and actually imagine stuff as you train. Just finished up the workout. I gotta run some errands in a bit. Had to go back to Costco again. Oh, look at that forehead vein. Ugh.
That's crazy. Dope dinosaur shirt. Did some conditioning here on the court. And not a ton. I just want to do enough to make myself work but not exhaust me. A little bit over time mean a lot. And so just I think 4 or 5 rounds I did today. I'm still gonna play one-on-one this afternoon. Might do a little bit then as well. I have a tournament coming up in October. We play like 3 games in one day and maybe 3 games the next day. So I'm trying to get used to repeating efforts as well over and over again. I am extremely sweaty. It is very warm in this gym, which is awesome. I'd rather be sweaty and hot in a gym than cold. My limbs don't get warmed up. Worked on some hand fighting stuff off the bounce, and you guys will see all that, or have already seen that by now. I'm gonna go get some food in me. Probably gonna lift, or go home. Yeah. Get some sort of quick food, lift, shower, run errands, work out again. So follow along.
And yes, I know this is what you all are here for, the one-on-one video. So I've been playing one-on-one with Kyle. Kyle is an absolute hooper, man. This guy's a professional player for many years. That block he just made on me, by the way, is nasty because that's something you smoke by someone. You're like, okay, easy layup, quick recovery. He's a long-time overseas pro. I think he's MVP of several leagues, scoring champ of several leagues. He's a professional bucket getter, man. And when you play pros, even if they're older, they still got game. It's one thing if you play a pro who maybe is older, and you got to put them in a situation where they have to run over and over and over again. They might not be able to keep up the way they used to just due to conditioning and them not playing. But you put them in an isolated setting like one-on-one, they can still go to work. And so this is awesome for me. You can see where I struggle. And specifically, I'm trying to work on that struggling aspect, which is A, going left and not getting stuck. Oh, that's kind of a dope move, by the way. And also, B, keeping a pace that's variable. Sometimes I get in the stuck of, I call it like almost like a bouncing molecule or a vibrating molecule. I just kind of heat up and I jolt back and forth over and over again. I need to be a little more patient with my moves. And then defensively, because he's a professional bucket getter, it really challenges me. He's a great pace. See how he just kind of stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, hezzy twitchiness over and over and over again. It really makes you gas, because what he'll do is he'll just attack your shoulder the minute you step up. And he is very, very strong. So it's awesome, because from that standpoint, you get to be physical, you get to compete, you get to find ways to push yourself. See that right there? That's okay to compete through it, but I get a little bit loose with my left hand. I can't do that. I don't like that. That's a good gather. Step back right there. Going right, I have better pace. That's not bad. So that's decent pace with my left hand, just to control the tempo. That's a good move right there. Good off arm. That left hand bumping and swiping his hand away. Missed the shot. Got to make it, but oh well. Yeah, you get to spots and you want to work on things. Instead of just going out there and shooting a whole bunch of threes, which I'm pretty good at, I want to... Oh. Hey, don't jump. I want to work on things that make me get better. Oh, just got done hooping. Went to the weight room after. It's hot out. I have like an extremely melted Rice Krispie treat here. Immediate post-exercise carbs. Ooh, it's actually kind of good looking because... Already fresh out the oven. Bad idea. Your Rice Krispie treat before a video. Oh well. Excuse me. So, played one-on-one with Kyle. Kyle's a long-time pro. Not a pro now. Many years as a pro. And he's got so many crafty pro things that are super annoying to deal with. If you've ever played a professional scorer, so some guys play in the pros and they do certain things professionally well. And professional scorers are just monsters to deal with on one-on-one. Other professional guys who are like, you might run into a guy who I played pro overseas or whatever. Let's say they played a couple of years or whatever. They might be someone, an example. They might be someone who is a big man who rebounded well, who ran the offense well, and you don't really recognize
his pro abilities until you play in a team setting and you're like, wow, this guy's really good. Certain guys are like athletes, and you play them and you can be playing any sort of basketball, and you know off the bat by the way they move that, wow, this guy's super athletic. Professional scorer, on the other hand, when you play them one-on-one, you're like, oh, this is the most annoying thing ever, because they've seen all types of defense try and stop them, and so they have all the ins and outs to, well, not getting stopped, which is great for me. If I want to get better, I got to play against people who are better than me at the things that I'm trying to work on. There are certain times you want to play against people who are worse, but there's times you want to play against people who are better. So day in and day out, Kyle has been kind enough to play against me one-on-one, and I get beat. There are certain things I need to work on, like today, I just didn't show up to play the first spot. I got beat like 3-0 off the bat. The next 2 spots, I took them both to game 5, so best of 5, 3 spots. I'm working on certain things per spot. Mentally, I gotta work on my mental, come ready to compete from the very jump of it. So that's something I'm learning, because as a coach, you kind of like half compete. As a competitor, you have to fully compete. Defensively, the physicality, little offhand things, I'm working on it, and we're gonna get better. This week, I'm working on a lot of offhand work, and it's only Wednesday. You can't expect to be good in one day, even 1 week, but you can expect to start to work on things every day. And if you stick with it and you play against people and do the right things, you will make progress. So in the short term, it seems like there's no progress. In the long term, there's lots of progress. So I'm finished eating my Rice Krispie treat. It was a good workout today. I gotta eat my shake, go home, upper echelon collagen, some egg whites, some Greek yogurt, super tasty, great mix. My wife made some apple crisp, which is also super tasty, so I might have some of that. Another day. Feels like you didn't get any better. That's how life is sometimes. I swear every day feels like Groundhog's Day, because you never know you're getting better. It's like if you ever lose weight, it's not like day to day you know that you're losing weight, for the same way for gaining weight as well. Well, I appreciate you guys. I'll stop rambling here. All right, take care.